Hi, everybody. Well, the relentless sideshow goes on apace, doesn't it, really? So now, the obvious answer to a failed summit is to have a second one. That would be your go-to, wouldn't it? This man is capable of anything. It is extraordinary. So, with this reading, viewers, of the developments around all this, there's been top Pentagon and Intel officials who are now seriously saying we cannot share top-level information with the President of the United States if we can possibly avoid it. Unprecedented. The interpreter, apparently the American interpreter from the summit, has handed over her notes to Congress. Unprecedented. And she probably handed them to the wrong place. And my advice to her is, love, I said, Pep, take those same notes and give them to someone else in the Pentagon or higher up, because Congress has gone, no one's ever done this before. She obviously wants to convey something serious, and they're going, oh, we just want to protect her professional status. So we don't want them. Don't give us the notes. The Republican Party is unbelievable in this situation. We can only hope they'll be condemned for 3 generations minimum after this. But these are full-on developments. So I've got 2 questions, major questions today. And one is, how would Trump handle a crisis, a real crisis? God forbid something like 9/11 or Katrina. He's just not up to it. And the second one, is he capable of actually engineering a crisis to try and stay in the White House? Oh my God. We need some... Look, I think the state should actually issue Valium or temazepam or something to the citizens. This is all so stressful and so distressing on so many levels. We'll look back and we'll think, oh, it was very quick. It was 2 or 3 years or something, but I think we've all aged. Oh my God, I saw a picture of Kelly today and I actually did a double take. I didn't recognise John Kelly. Have a look at a photo from this week and tell me if this man is not stressed to the eyeballs. Stressed, horrified. I don't know. He did a little bit. He pushed Republicans to speak out against Trump. Again, you have a chief of staff saying to people, oh my God. So the old Chinese saying, may you live in interesting times, it comes as a price. It comes at a price. So I brought out the top deck. We're going to have a look at Trump, the president, and how he is likely to handle, first of all, a serious crisis. Oh, sorry, I'm back. Russia's response to the summit, apart from saying it went really well, which would have to be a worry, they've announced they're doing more nuclear tests. Let's hope that's just a fuck you to Trump and not a precursor to something else. What? Okay. So, how would Trump handle a crisis, a really big crisis? So far, he's been blessed. How would Trump handle a serious crisis? his go-to position always is about money. The Ten of Pentacles, his position is throw money at it. No problem can't be solved by money in Donald's world. So other complexities actually completely bypass him, but money. Money. He gets the Five of Wands, which is in the toss deck, strife. So we're on song here in terms of the reading itself. So should there be big strife, how would he handle it? Well, the Three of Swords, that's the one with the heart normally and the swords going through it, he couldn't handle it. He absolutely couldn't handle it. And he doesn't understand why he couldn't handle it. So no surprises there, viewers. The Queen of Discs, this keeps turning up in every reading I do with the toss deck. So something's going on. Who is this woman with the money? So I think I'm beginning to more firmly think it's Rebecca Mercer. I've ummed and ahed between her and even the original Ivana Trump, Mother of Dragons. But I am thinking it is her. I follow American politics quite closely. As you know, viewers, I'm not seeing the equivalent in the Republican Party of hugely powerful women like there are in the Democrats. Am I missing somebody here? Is there a Republican woman who's hugely powerful? Please get back to me. So I'm going to read this as Rebecca Mercer. And in this context, how would Trump handle a crisis? He would turn to those with money, because he doesn't care about people. You know, should there be a shocking hurricane or series of hurricanes, or should there be, God forbid, as I said, some sort of mainland issue, Russian nuclear tests, that's already a crisis. But if it is, he would turn, oddly enough, I think, to this woman to try and reinvent the narrative. So, given that Rebecca Mercer controls voter perception, i.e. people's perceptions of what's going on, I'm surprised she hasn't taken a lower profile. This is what happens with these people who are born to power. They can't conceive of actually being brought down. And so she's still got, whoever it is, Rebecca Mercer or another person, her antlers are up and ready to do battle. So he would turn to her. That's kind of weird. Okay, now, he's definitely cornered, and cornered beasts are dangerous, as we know. We also know that he wouldn't be the first leader to engineer a crisis to try and save his presidency or the prime ministership of somewhere. You know, it's that whole thing, if they're doing badly in the polls, the conventional way used to be to start a war and then everyone's obliged to, you know, fall in line behind the leader. And preferably a war, you know, somewhere abstract that people don't know about or particularly care about. So it's a notional war somewhere else. So my next question is Trump capable of engineering a real crisis to try and shore up his presidency? Is he capable? He's the master of diversion. He's now run out of domestic diversions. So is he going to up the ante? This second meeting with Putin is the weirdest thing, is it not? It's such a bizarre reaction. And I think it was his idea, not Putin's, but I could be wrong on that. That's another question. Okay, is Trump capable creating a major diversion. All right. Three of Wands, looking to the international. Ace of Swords. Ooh. Ace of Cups. The Strength card. Well, the answer to that is yes. Yes, yes. Matter is more. Oui. Okay, apologies to French speakers. Australians, the Australian accent doesn't translate well. Okay. He gets the Three of Wands. Ironically, in the Thoth deck, this is called virtue, which is a funny old-fashioned term. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's the one with the distinguished man looking out to sea, holding the world in his hands. So it's because it's wands, it's fire energy, and it's outward bound energy. So that is sort of forming the foundation to this. He then gets the Ace of Swords. Wait till I put my screen up a bit. The Ace of Swords. Cutting through, wanting to be seen as strong, militaristic. Yes. As far as I'm concerned, there's two yeses there. So then that's followed by the Ace of Cups. Emotionally, he might feel there's no other choice. So he has to either inhabit his beaten self, who's seen as an idiot and a fool and unpopular, and his last-ditch stand as a military person, which he is so not. Cadet Bone Spurs, the opposite of that. There must be so many people in the Pentagon really worried now. Then out comes mysteriously referred to as art in the Thoth deck. It's also in a way the dark arts. So again, this is someone who'll stop at nothing to secure power, right? And in bed with these strange and hostile creatures. So the Russian stuff is far from finished. I just want to do another one now on Russia. I think it's a bit confusing. It's confusing in normal life, and it's even confusing on a psychic level, the Russian-American relationship. Because we're all pretty sure, both just in the normal world and the metaphysical world, where Putin doesn't like Trump, who could like Trump. You wouldn't want to even be in Putin's position, which is another story too, because Putin's not doing very well at home. Putin's more worried than he's been for his whole leadership. This is very worrying. So, Putin doesn't like him, doesn't trust him. He hasn't delivered on lifting the sanctions or conveying anything positive that is translated for Russia. So he owes Russia. We know he owes Russia on all sorts of levels, you know. And this is more than underage sex workers in a Moscow hotel. He owes Russia big time. So my next question is, will he further collude with Russia? So that takes the form of whether it's about creating back channels, interfering in elections, or if they're both really worried, something that has a more militaristic aim. The Knight of Swords, the Helicopter Knight, what's in the works? Putin missing his money. Oh, that's good. Futility. Okay. I love the helicopter night. I feel I've redeemed the Toth deck. I love the Toth deck, viewers. Now, look at that image. I mean, in a way, this is both of them. So you've got the sort of almost crazed knight. The angle of the artwork suggests careening off the page. Anything's possible. Sword in hand, helicopter. Okay. The Three of Discs, the group work card in the other pack, it's what is in the works. So I think they're actually trying to do something together. But of course, Putin is in control now and looking to Trump for help. He's got an extremely unstable partner. So what is motivating Putin now, I think, is this card. He has enormous wealth, the sort of wealth that makes your eyes water, but it's tied up in Western countries. And for various reasons and because of various investigations, he's worried he won't be able to get his hands on his own wealth. So Putin is motivated by money and power, but at the end of the day, I think he's very worried about this. The outcome, though, which I find somewhat reassuring, is the Seven of Swords, which is futility. They won't actually succeed. But viewers, I do want to share with you the possibilities of a lot more knotty stuff going forward. I think, please, thank the gods, covering all bases, I think the Pentagon and the intelligence agencies are concerned enough. They're acting almost independently of him, and I think they're working very, very hard. They don't have the support of the Republican Party as traditionally you would have. They know that. In a way, I think this is kind of good, that they've been forced into operating underground in their own country. How bizarre. But I think that's the safest for America, to know that these agencies, and God knows, you know, if you talked to me 10 years ago or something, to think I'd be going, oh, please, you know, support the FBI. But they are really doing their utmost to protect the country. And I think if it comes to that, we all know Trump is not capable for a whole host of reasons, nor is Pence. Imagine a situation, let's say the pussy grabber has a heart attack or is some way, you know, carted off or disappears. Pence is not up to this stuff, you know. So they have to do it on their own. So my suggestion, my dear valiant viewers, is please offer prayers to these agencies, because I think they're really in uncharted waters and they are doing their utmost to protect the country against the odds. And I think what else we're going to see, and I think Kirsten Langston and others have suggested this, it's going to vacillate. So something like earlier this week where it looked like Trump was dead in the water, then he comes back. I'm over the expression doubling down. This is more than doubling down. You know, this is maniacal, sort of virulent spitting and fighting. I'm doing claw-like things. So we're going to see where we think the Republicans are finally coming to their senses. Then they're selfish enough to, oh, well, as long as, you know, in the back blocks they still vote for me, it's all right. Who knows what percentage? I don't, whether it's half and half or it's worse and only 30% of Republicans really care about the country, and the other 70% are concerned about covering their own asses. Bring on the midterms. Bring on the midterms. So, prayers. All right, guys. I also think the only way to, not the only way, obviously he can be voted out, but the thing that's going to start to make the Republicans shift finally, because they only think in terms of money, is the economy. And I'm going to do one on the international economy and the US economy. Okay, bye for now.